What is the best furnace brand to get if you need a new furnace? If your guess was Carrier, you're incorrect. But that being said, I do want to make a disclaimer that what I'm going to be sharing in this video is simply one opinion of a random HVAC guy on YouTube. I'm not an analyst, I'm not an engineer, I simply fixed a lot of furnaces, so my conclusion comes from that kind of a background. Now, for those of you that are hoping for a quick, blunt brand recommendation without having to listen to me beat around the bush for 10 minutes, I won't disappoint you. If you want to know just that, here it is. The brand I would recommend is a Goodman furnace. Optimally, an 80% standard efficiency furnace, not a high efficiency one. Because from what I've seen, they are cheaper to repair and they don't break down as often. But for those of you that can't get an 80% furnace, my condolences to all the people watching from Canada, then my next recommendation is a high efficiency Goodman furnace. Usually they come in 3 grades. You got the builder grade, sometimes called economy grade or value grade, or whatever other word they can use to make it sound cheaper. You got the low grade, you got the mid tier, and then you got the premium, ultra, super amazing, rocket ship type of a furnace. My personal opinion about these ultra efficient furnaces is that they're not worth the initial cost. Having to pay a couple extra $1,000 just to have your furnace be a little more efficient and run a little bit quieter, I don't think that's worth it. Another downside of these smart, mega efficiency furnaces is that they are mega expensive to repair. They even have smart thermostats that cost over $1,000 to replace. And you can't replace it with a regular thermostat because it's not smart enough. But all jokes aside, if you're interested why I don't recommend high efficiency furnaces for most people, I do have a whole video dedicated to that topic, so if you're interested, check that video out. So that's it. That's my recommendation. In case you missed it, it was a Goodman furnace. Whether it be 80%, 92%, 96%, or 98%, I would opt for a Goodman furnace. The main reason why I pick Goodman is because Goodman furnaces often have really standard or universal parts that are easy to get just about anywhere. And you need to understand that regardless of which furnace brand you get, which efficiency you get, the furnace will break down. Inevitably, there will come a day when there's going to be a breakdown. If you get unlucky, it might even happen within the first year, right after you get your brand new furnace. So in my mind, as a repair guy, knowing that the furnace will eventually break down, for me, it's more important how easily I can get the parts for it and how much they cost. That's more important than the efficiency and the brand of the furnace. And logically thinking, there's more cheap furnaces out there than the very expensive ones. So there's going to be a lot more parts for cheap furnaces than those premium ones. And I know there's going to be some people that would say, well, who cares? I have a warranty on it anyway, so it's covered. What you have to understand is a lot of these high efficiency furnaces, the top grade ones, they have special order parts. So a lot of them are not readily available. You have to order the part and wait for it to come in. Even if you get overnight shipping, if it's -30 outside, that doesn't help you any. Whereas if you have a standard furnace, the technician can go grab a new motor or a new control board or whatever he needs from a different shop or even from his van and get it replaced right away. And since I mentioned it, let's stop on warranties for just a little bit. Most manufacturers and contractors, they'll offer different packages of warranties. Usually it's either a 5-year warranty, 10-year warranty, 20-year warranty on the heat exchanger. Sometimes it's a lifetime warranty. And most of the time, the warranty only covers the parts, not the labor. Some of them do include labor, but it's only going to be for a couple of years, like 3 years. This means that when your furnace breaks and you call a contractor out to take a look at it, the trip fee and the diagnostic fee is not covered, only the cost of the part is covered. And to add on to that, many manufacturers also require you to get an annual furnace inspection. If you fail to do so, your warranty may be voided. Sorry, brief video interruption. So as I'm making this part of the video about the annual furnace checks, I decided to try to look that up on the manufacturer websites, and I couldn't find any information that confirmed it. As far as I could tell, it's the contractors that are making it mandatory to get the annual checks in order to keep the warranty valid. The manufacturers themselves, they just highly recommend it. So that's just one more question to ask the contractor. Is this something that you require, or is it the manufacturer? That is all. Let's get back to the video. And on that note, If you don't register your furnace, the warranty on some manufacturers literally gets chopped in half. So if your furnace is registered, it might be warranted for 10 years. If you fail to register it within 60 to 90 days, it gets chopped in half. So that's just one more thing to look out for. So whenever a company comes out and they start giving you bids with all these warranties, make sure you read the fine print or just ask a lot of questions. What does the warranty include and what does the warranty not include? People also ask what is a good price for a new furnace, and there really is no good answer for this. I've seen the same exact furnace be sold for $2,000 and then the same furnace sold for $18,000. So it really matters which contractor you call out. That's why I personally always recommend getting a few different bids. And the last point on warranties that I would like to touch is extended warranties. Are they worth it? Personally, from what I've seen, getting the extended warranty, paying the extra cost, is generally not worth it. But if you're somebody that's watching this and you have gotten an extended warranty and it was good for you, I would love to hear about that in the comments below, what your experience was like. And actually, just any of you that have experience with warranty claims that were honored and they were not honored, or if they cost way more than you expected, or on the contrary, if they were wonderful and covered everything, I would love to hear some of these stories in the comments. So if you got a minute, please do share. Another question that I sometimes get is, what is the difference between the different high efficiency furnaces? And to explain it simply, the low grade furnace is about 92% efficient. The medium tier is about 96% efficient, and the high tier, the highest tier, is about 98, 98.5, a max of like 99% efficient. So the difference between them isn't actually that great. And for those of you that are wondering what this energy percentage means, it simply means that, for example, if a furnace has an energy efficiency rating of 90%, it means that 90% of the fuel it consumes is converted into usable heat for your home, while the remaining 10% is lost, pretty much going out your roof or out the chimney. So all this means is that the higher rated furnaces are simply using the fuel more efficiently. You could even compare this to cars. You got two cars, one gets 25 miles a gallon, the other one gets 30 miles a gallon. And just like the furnaces, cars will also have a low tier, a medium tier, and a high tier. For example, if we take Toyota, you got a Toyota Corolla, then you got a Toyota Camry, and then you got the luxury grade, the Toyota Avalon. But to those of you to whom the price of the furnace and the price of the repairs is not a concern, and you actually want the top-notch, the highest efficiency, and the quietest furnace possible, supposedly the Lennox furnace is the best one. So if you want to get a top-of-the-line smart furnace, that would be one of your choices. Well guys, that's all I had. Thank you for listening to my rant. I tried to squeeze a lot of information into as little time as possible. Hopefully you found that helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. And if you made it all the way to the end of the video, let me leave you with a dad joke. A dung beetle walks into a bar and asks, "Is this stool taken?" And just in case you didn't like my dad joke, let me tell you something else. I was helping a guy move a picnic table. There was two of us. And then two more guys came to help us. So now there's four guys. And I say, "Oh, that's wonderful. Any opportunity we get to save our backs is great. I'll take it." And one of the guys turns to me and says, "No, actually you're not right. The way to save your back is to use your apprentice."